Alright, so right now you're looking at a black screen. The reason for that is the video that will be popping up in the background will be a run I did a while back of the first dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. So if you don't want it spoiled, yes, there are in fact people who haven't gotten to Dawn Trail yet, you selfish git. You may want to have this video in another tab or something. Not that anyone needs to be told that, I assume I'm third monitor background noise at best, but you know, at least it was said. I went with that dungeon since there was videos on YouTube spoiling it during the media tour, before the flipping thing was even released into early access. But at least now, no one can claim that they weren't warned. Right. Taking a little break from leveling White Mage in 14. Only so many tanks that double pull. Don't use mitigation and insist on standing in every AoE that I can tolerate before losing my mind. Talking to them won't help. Nothing gets you banned faster than that. Hey tank, mind using some mitts? My MP bar and Lilies would appreciate that. Kicked from group and reported for sexual harassment, cause how dare he? Anyways, so welcome to another video where I, a pessimist, talk to the void for however long. In this installment, I would like to talk about something YouTube related that I read about a bit and a half back. Namely, the rumors of YouTube giving us another button. I believe it was called a hype button. Now, the way I read it, there would be a new button. I'm going to assume next to like the subscribe buttons and thumbs up and thumbs downs and bullshit. And I'm guessing it would also mean that a new thing on the left side of YouTube, you know, where my YouTube insists on being in Norwegian, so I'm not sure what it's called in English. But you know, it's where you find like the shorts and the subscriptions and yada yada yada. And in this new option, you would see videos that people had hyped. This is, from what I understand, available in a couple of countries right now. I think Brazil was one. And it would be available for channels with, I believe, less than 500k subscribers or something. I'm unable to find the article. I have to use my memory, it's kind of spotty, apparently it's connected to my depression or something. At least that's what a shrink told me at some point. Apparently this fucking thing can cause dementia. But this thing is, you know, one of those on paper a good idea. In reality, I would say it's half-baked and easily abused. Let me explain. So it should be in YouTube's best interest to get as many channels as possible to a point where they could live comfortably off YouTube. Why? Well, unless things have changed, YouTube takes a nice chunk of every creator's income. So the more channels earning YouTube cash, in my head, though it might be a bit silly most of the time, should make YouTube more cash. They could obviously take a larger cut of each creator, but that would piss people off. With this function, they could take the same percentage but more channels to take it from. Which in my head means more bang for YouTube. And I mean, smaller creators would probably appreciate the help as well. So I think they have at least sort of good intentions. However, road to hell and all that, there are some issues. One, you're reliant on people wanting to help other people. Now, yes, pessimist, but I would claim that about 99% of the human population fucking sucks. Yes, that includes me. And people won't help. Not unless they themselves stand to gain from it. Fair enough, but I don't think anyone will do that without making unreasonable demands. I find it incredibly hard to believe that someone will just click that button out of the kindness of their own heart. 2, and here's a big one, you would be reliant on people actually seeing the videos. If your views look like mine, yeah, I messed up a while back and I saw a lot of zeros. And when no one has seen a video, simple math, how many potential viewers do you have that will click the hype button? If 0 viewers, then I would believe that 0 people will click the button. I suck at math, but I think I got that right. If no one sees the video, then no one will click the button. It kind of makes sense to me. But I kind of gave up on math when they started putting like brackets and letters in there and just kind of ruined everything. So maybe there's some, I don't know. For this thing to even serve a purpose, YouTube needs to start promoting smaller channels. I mean, again, I saw a lot of zeros. However, the Ghostbusters playthrough did pretty well. It was like 50 and 60 views. Because it was copyright hell and owners monetized that, and those videos got pushed a bit. I didn't want to fight them because they seemed legit, and I don't want to stick my dick into that hornet's nest. I'm way too old to be doing that. So monetize the videos, you say? Sure. It's just a small fact of a teeny tiny hurdle that from, you know, I saw this while I was clicking around trying to figure out how YouTube works these days. I saw that you need a fair bit of watch minutes in a month. And I think you also needed to upload at least 1 shorts. Apparently that's a thing now. To even apply for it. Watch minutes you won't get if you don't get views, because YouTube doesn't even pretend to promote your channel. Or you can obviously start chasing trends like the fucking gold rush. It would be like, yeehaw! There's gold in them Fortnites and Apexes. Like, screw that. But there's also, you know, it's going to be abused. Alright? No, seriously, it will. People will do things like set up another account just to hype their own videos. People will trade. Hey, I'll hype your video if you hype mine. Or you know, people will pay people to hype. Rich gets richer. You will have some rich man's child pay people to hype their 240p Minecraft video. Like, there are more issues, but I don't know how much time I have. I can only suck at 14. I think it was Dancer I leveled for so long before you kind of stumble over the finish line. Even though on the forums people are complaining that this game is too hard, and meanwhile I think it was the 4th dungeon in Dawn Trail. I was on Paladin, and the healer and one of the DPS decided to share a spread, and the second half of the first phase and the entire second phase was basically me and a black mage. Wasn't really a whole lot of problems, but apparently this game is really fucking hard these days. I think this on paper would be a good idea, but in theory rarely matches with reality. And therefore I highly doubt it'll work out as intended. I mean, it would be great if they could make it work, as I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to evacuate the country soon. And that would cause me to lose this like support system that I'm on. It's nothing serious, by the way. It's just being born in a poor family out in the countryside of Norway. You're basically ejected into a dead end in life. Only choices you have is try to climb the brick wall in order to escape, grit your teeth and bear it, hoping that some disease unsubs you from life early. You know, wrap a rope around your neck and kick the chair. And I would like to try a new start before I do that, but I'm 34. I'm gonna have to do something soon. And having YouTube, that would make that a little bit easier. Because, you know, I could just switch on my computer and continue working. As long as I have an internet connection, it would be fine. I don't think I have the talent or the know-how to make better content, so I would certainly appreciate some help pulling. But it needs some work, because this is half-baked. Then again, this is also YouTube. The fuck else is new?